Hi, it's Kirby Summers for the Epstein Project podcast. Today is a really important day. Yesterday, on October 29th, Prince Andrew's deadline to respond to Virginia Giuffre's lawsuit for having abused her while she was a trafficked teenager of the age that she was 17 in New York City. And in New York City, that is considered a minor. Additionally, I mean, she was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell and really feared for her life for a long time because what they used, as we have all discovered, was threats and intimidation. In any event, finally, Prince Andrew responded officially yesterday. His attorneys have used um, the basically the lawsuit that was settled between Jeffrey Epstein and Virginia Giuffre in 2009, whereupon by releasing him, she also released, as per his request, his friends, his employees, and his business associates. Prince Andrew, at the advice of Alan Dershowitz, is using the same request to Judge Kaplan, who was presiding over this case, um, to dismiss the lawsuit. In addition to this, however, and please like this video at this point, like the video, please. Um, in addition, they are attempting once again to smear Virginia. So, as an example, I mean, the smearing never ends. In their Exhibit N is a copy of March 1, 2015, New York Daily News article entitled Jeffrey Epstein Accuser Was Not a Sex Slave, but a Money-Hungry Sex Kitten. So, what they're trying to do is to claim that Virginia is not telling the truth, that she was, I mean, come on, Jeffrey Epstein, the whole world knows who he is right now, but they're clinging to trying to make uh, Virginia, who was a trafficked victim, only was able to escape Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell's clutches when she managed to get them to send her to Thailand to sort of complete their promise to her of 2 years earlier, where they said, if we're going to help you become a licensed massage therapist. There she met her husband, thank goodness, and she has been living in Australia with her husband and her family ever since. So, in response to this, we have the opportunity as people who are supporting Virginia to speak at this moment. And if we do not speak at this moment, the window will close. And so there is an open letter to Judge Lewis Kaplan on change.org. I've put a link to this on my Twitter, which is twitter.com/Kirby Summers. And you do not have to pay to sign this petition, by the way. You know, I typically most people do not know this. So I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to leave a link so that you can please sign this petition, share it with your friends. Your voice matters. If you want justice for Virginia Giuffre, and pretty much this will set a precedent, okay? Meaning that we have an opportunity to change the course of the future and correct the injustices of the past. So the letter begins, Dear Judge Kaplan, we, the supporters of Virginia Giuffre from around the world, respectfully submit this letter and ask you hold Prince Andrew accountable for his role in sexually abusing Giuffre at a time in her life when she was at her most vulnerable, when she was a minor, a sexually trafficked victim, terrified of being murdered if she did not obey the demands of Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Giuffre, as a result of being ensnared in Epstein and Maxwell's trafficking ring, suffered in the past and will continue to suffer in the future the following: 1. Pain and suffering. 2. Emotional distress. 3. Psychological trauma. 4. Mental anguish. 5. Humiliation. 6. Confusion. 7. Embarrassment. 8. Loss of educational opportunities. 9. Loss of self-esteem. 10. Loss of dignity. 11. Invasion of privacy. All of the above and more, such as post-traumatic stress disorder, will tragically affect Virginia Giuffre for the rest of her life. Jeffrey Epstein was in violation of state and federal statutes when he coerced and enticed Virginia Giuffre to engage in sexual activity, to travel with him in order for her to engage in sexual conduct with himself and others, such as Prince Andrew and other powerful adult politicians, academics, high-powered businessmen, and personal acquaintances. In addition to your role as a judge, you are also a human being. We know you do not leave your moral duty to the protection of children and vulnerable persons at the door when you take your seat on the bench. Your ruling against Prince Andrew's motion to dismiss the civil action brought against him will set a precedent. Your ruling in holding Prince Andrew responsible for sexually violating Virginia Giuffre at a time in her life when she was at her most vulnerable will set a precedent. No person, including the privileged son of the Queen of England, is above the law. Respectfully submitted for Kirby Summers and the supporters of Virginia Giuffre. Again, this is your opportunity to get on this petition and leave your own comments about why you feel that the judge should deny Prince Andrew's request to just dismiss the lawsuit, and that the Jeffrey Epstein settlement with Virginia applies to him. This is the time for Prince Andrew and the people who are in powerful positions, who took advantage of thousands through the Epstein Maxwell pipeline, uh, we can begin to see some justice. So you have all been asking for justice. Okay, well, this is your opportunity. Um, Please leave your comments in the description box below, and for updates, to follow me on Twitter. Okay, well, I thank you for signing in advance. I know you're going to do the right thing. Please sign the petition, the open letter to Judge Kaplan. All right, this is Kirby Summers for the Epstein Project podcast. Thank you.